case.
I want to thank my two trustees, Trustee Andrew Holmes and Trustee Stan Brown, for showing up.
South suburban politician Tiffany Henyard appears to have lost control of both governments.
So let's dive deep into the wildest celebrity gossip and political drama that will have you questioning everything. And today, oh boy, do we have a story for you. We are diving into the absolute chaos that has been unfolding in Dolton, Illinois, where Mayor Tiffany Henyard is running the show like she is a reality TV star. The only problem is it is real life, and people are paying the price.
And Micah, tonight was a special board meeting because business has not gotten done at two previous meetings. So that's some progress there. But this meeting was not without its fair share of tension.
Now, if you haven't heard, Mayor Henyard, who's also the supervisor of Thornton Township, has been at the center of a major controversy. And we're not just talking about your average day-to-day political scandal. We are talking about allegations of financial mismanagement, unpaid bills, lavish spending sprees, and even accusations that she's using her position to retaliate against anyone who dares to question her. Yeah, it's that bad. But before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's back up a bit and set the stage, because this story has layers. Henyard was elected as mayor of Dolton back in 2021, and from the jump, she made it clear she wasn't your typical politician. She's been calling herself the super mayor. Yes, you heard that right. And she's even been known to show up at meetings dressed like a character from a gangster movie. Like seriously, she once came to a meeting dressed as Nino Brown from New Jack City, complete with a stuffed dog and a DJ blasting "Be Better Have My Money." We mean, who does that? It's like she's trying to live out some kind of movie fantasy. But in the process, she's running a whole town into the ground.
Here to appoint my police chief,
So let's talk about what's really going on in Dolton. The town is in serious financial trouble, and a lot of that seems to be tied directly to Henyard's spending habits. We're talking about using taxpayer dollars for first-class flights, luxury hotel stays, and dining at high-end restaurants. And we're not just talking a few $100 here and there. Nope, try tens of thousands. According to reports, Henyard and her crew dropped over $67,000 on trips to places like Portland, Austin, Atlanta, and New York City. And get this, while they were in Atlanta, they stayed at the Four Seasons Hotel, racking up a bill of over $9,000. And in New York, they stayed at the Marriott Marquis in Times Square, and the bill came to a staggering $13,000. Can you imagine?
A Dolton home that she leased to Mayor Tiffany Henyard has filed eviction papers. She says Henyard has not paid her rent, and now she wants her.
But it doesn't stop there. Henyard's township credit card statements show over $23,000 in restaurant charges in just a few months. And while she claims all this spending is for the people and to build relationships or attract investment, she hasn't really provided any solid explanations. It's almost like she's hoping no one will notice. But oh, trust us, people are noticing. In fact, former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot was hired to investigate Dolton's finances, and the results so far, not pretty. Lightfoot reported that the village's general fund balance was just over $5 million in April 2022, but by May 2024, that had dropped to a deficit of $365 million. That's right, the village is now in the red. And let's talk about that infamous day in January 2023, when Henyard dropped a cool $40,000 on Amazon. Like, what even was that? What could possibly cost that much on Amazon? Some people are speculating it was for personal use, but who knows? And on the same day, there were two other Amazon purchases, one for over $4,000 and another for more than $5,000. That's a lot of money flying out the door, and Dolton residents are furious.
Henyard's landlord showed up here to see her tenant in person after she says Henyard has been dodging both her and rent payments for months.
One resident, Andrea McKay, put it best when she said, "We have senior citizens that can't even afford basic necessities. Imagine living in a town where your leaders are blowing thousands on who knows what while residents are struggling to make ends meet. And it's not just the spending that has people up in arms. There's also the issue of bills not being paid." Lightfoot's investigation found that, as of June 2024, there were at least 589 checks worth over $6 million that had been approved but never sent to vendors. And this is where it gets really shady. Dolton trustees have been approving these payments, but the checks just aren't going out. So where's the money? Why isn't it being paid?
Now she's teasing a big announcement that she claims will result in some of her opponents being arrested and charged.
Trustee Jason House has been vocal about this, saying, at the end of the day, vendors aren't being paid. The board approved it, but vendors aren't being paid. And it's not just small payments we're talking about. There's $1 million payment to a vendor called 5 Star that was approved, but it still hasn't been paid. House and other trustees are demanding answers. But whenever they question Henyard, he gets defensive. And by defensive, we mean she goes off the rails, accusing people of attacking her because she's a black woman in power. Like, what? During a public meeting, Henyard lashed out, saying, "You all should be ashamed of yourselves because you all are black. You all are black. And you all sitting up here beating and attacking a black woman that's in power." She's trying to make it about race. But the people of Dolton aren't buying it. This isn't about race, it's about accountability. People want to know where their money is going and why the village is millions of dollars in debt.
Dolton Township tonight as another board meeting got canceled because of a lack of a quorum.
And that came after a disagreement about where to hold the meeting as trustees expressed concerns for their safety.
And speaking of accountability, let's talk about Henyard's security detail. She's got 6 police officers assigned to her personal security, and some of them are raking in massive overtime pay. One officer, whose salary is about $87,000, received over $114,000 in overtime pay in fiscal year 2024. Another officer, with a base salary of $73,000, got more than $102,000 in overtime. That's insane. And while Henyard's got all this security, crime in the village is on the rise. 4 people were shot and injured recently, and residents are pointing out that the police should be out there protecting the community, not babysitting the mayor. Trustee Brittany Norwood called Henyard out on this, saying, "We're not saying police aren't doing a good job. We're saying you're assigning all of them to be with you when they should be out here protecting the residents so we can all feel safe." But Henyard just brushes it off, acting like she's being unfairly targeted.
We talked to Tiffany Henyard's landlord, and she says she came to this Thornton Township meeting Tuesday night hoping to get paid what she says she's owed.
And it's not just the trustees and residents who are fed up with Henyard's antics. Even her former allies are turning against her. Nakita Cloud, who used to be her chief of staff, has spoken out about Henyard would regularly invite aides and supporters to dine at upscale restaurants on the taxpayers' dime, even though they weren't discussing government business. Cloud didn't hold back, saying, "I don't think she's fit to be mayor. I think she wants to be a reality television star. Honestly, given everything we've seen so far, that checks out." But wait, it gets even crazier. Henyard's been accused of using her position to retaliate against businesses that don't support her politically. One local business owner, Lawrence Gardner, said Henyard shut down his trucking business because he refused to make a political contribution. Gardner claims he made an initial donation to her campaign, but refused to keep paying. So the village retaliated by fabricating claims that he was selling spirits illegally and pulled his business license. Gardner didn't mince words when he said, "What is she, Nino Brown? Anything she wants done, she gets them to harass you."
Does all this point the finger to Tiffany or allow me? I'm over it. Now it's time for me.
This is the kind of stuff you'd expect to see in a movie, not in real life. But for the people of Dolton, this is their reality. And it's not just businesses getting caught in the crossfire. Residents who speak out against Henyard are reportedly being harassed. 2. Trustee Kiana Belcher revealed that the former police chief admitted that Henyard asked him to target people for harassment. Belcher said, "She'll have the police follow you and give tickets. It's like she's running the town like her own personal fiefdom. And anyone who crosses her is in for a world of trouble." So where do things stand now? Well, Henyard is still in power, despite all the allegations and investigations swirling around her. And get this, she's running for re-election. That's right, despite everything, she's announced that she's running for another term as mayor of Dolton. She even posted on Facebook saying, "I am running for re-election for mayor of Dolton." She's acting like nothing's wrong, like the town isn't crumbling under the weight of her mismanagement.
Just here because I'm at wit's end and I fear that I'm going to go into foreclosure soon if I can't get this matter handled.
But the people of Dolton aren't having it. They're tired of the lies, the corruption, and the chaos. Former trustee Valeria Stubbs, who has known Henyard for 15 years, said, "I've never seen anything like this in my life." And residents are starting to speak out, too. One commenter on a recent video said, "And Tiffany and company are still walking around free. What is wrong with Illinois? Lock them up." Another pointed out, her goal is always to try to embarrass people and prove them wrong. If they ask her a question, she immediately goes into defense mode. She's definitely trying to hide what was done. It's clear that Henyard's days as mayor might be numbered, but she's not going down without a fight. She's already filed lawsuits against trustees and even tried to get a judge to invalidate meetings that were held without her. And she's threatened her political opponents with arrest, even though she hasn't provided any evidence of wrongdoing on their part. It's like she's grasping at straws, trying to hold onto power by any means necessary.
It's a power grab. That's it. Power and money grab.
And as if all that weren't enough, Henyard and her boyfriend are also facing eviction from their home. Yep, you heard that right. Despite pulling in over $300,000 a year between the two of them, they haven't paid rent since August, and their landlord, Janetta Hull, has had enough. Hull said she once considered Henyard a friend, but now she's struggling to pay her bills because the couple won't pay their rent. Hull even filed an eviction lawsuit, but so far Henyard's managed to avoid being served. It's like every part of Henyard's life is falling apart. but she's still trying to pretend everything's fine.
So now I have to pay a special process server in order to get them served, which is more fees for me.
So what do you guys think? Is this the craziest political scandal you've ever heard, or what? Do you think Henyard's going to be able to hold onto power? Or is this the beginning of the end for the super mayor? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the wildest celebrity gossip and political drama. Until next time.